Welcome to the journey of financial mastery. Today, we begin our deep dive into the world of strategic liquidity. Gramps Rick is here to guide you through 60 scenes of intensive market analysis and wealth generation. Understanding the base layer of your portfolio is essential for long-term stability. We are looking at the initial patterns that define successful asset allocation. Keep your eyes on the data as we move through these frames. Notice the subtle shifts in market sentiment reflected on the board. Every dollar accounted for represents a calculated move in our grand strategy. Precision is the difference between a simple trader and a master of capital. We are expanding our view to include secondary liquidity pools. By analyzing the flow of assets, we can predict where the next surge of value will occur. Stay focused on the geometric progression of your personal wealth. The environment changes, but the principles of growth remain constant. Even in a new setting, the goal is clear: maximize the yield while maintaining a secure foundation. Let the surroundings inspire a fresh perspective on profit. Back in the lab, we refine our calculations. The intersection of technology and finance provides us with tools that were unimaginable a decade ago. Use them wisely to carve out your niche in the global market. The numbers speak a language of their own. If you listen closely, they tell a story of risk, reward, and the inevitable triumph of disciplined strategy. Do not let the noise of the crowd distract you. Efficiency is our primary metric today. We are stripping away the excess to find the leanest path to profitability. Every move must be deliberate. Every asset must serve a purpose in the greater machine of wealth. Observe the correlation between different asset classes. When one moves, others follow in a predictable dance. Mastering these relationships allows you to stay 2 steps ahead of the curve at all times. Balance is key. We stand at a milestone of knowledge, taking a moment to reflect on the foundational pillars of finance from this historic location. True wealth is built on a legacy of understanding and the steady accumulation of capital. New cycles bring new opportunities for those prepared to seize them. We are recalibrating our instruments to account for recent shifts in global liquidity. The board shows a clear path forward for the disciplined investor. Volatility is not a threat, it is an instrument. By learning to navigate the waves, you turn market turbulence into a source of energy for your portfolio. Stay calm and follow the logic of the numbers. The technical setup is now coming into full focus. We are looking at a high-probability zone where assets consolidate before a major move. Patience is often the most profitable trade you can ever make in finance. Look at the synergy between these different data points. Individually, they are informative, but together they provide a roadmap for the coming month. We are building a fortress of information to protect our growing assets. A change in scenery provides a moment of clarity. Amidst the tropical breeze, the logic of tourism and global revenue becomes tangible. Diversification isn't just a strategy. It's a lifestyle for the truly wealthy individual. Returning to the core analysis, we see the pattern repeating with greater intensity. The momentum is building, and the liquidity pools are deepening. This is the moment to verify your entry points and commit to strategy. Risk management is the silent partner in every successful trade. Without it, the highest gains are temporary. With it, even small wins compound into a massive fortune over time. Respect the stops and protect your capital. We are examining the psychological barriers that prevent most from reaching the next level. Fear and greed are the enemies of logic. By following the board, you remove emotion and replace it with pure mathematical certainty. The flow of digital assets is accelerating. We are tracking the movement from cold storage to active exchange wallets. This tells us exactly where the pressure is building and where the next breakout will likely occur. Standing here, we feel the weight of history and the power of sustained intellectual effort. Finance is a marathon, not a sprint. Every lesson learned is a brick in the foundation of your future empire. A fresh start for the new week. We are analyzing the opening gaps and the early sentiment. The board is clear. The trend remains our friend as long as we stay within the established parameters of our plan. Notice how the yield curves are starting to flatten. This suggests a transition phase in the current market cycle. We must adapt our strategies to maintain the same level of growth as the environment shifts around us. Deep dive into micro-cap opportunities. While riskier, the potential for exponential growth is what drives massive portfolio expansions. We use strict filters to find the diamonds in the rough that others miss in the chaos. Consolidation is often misinterpreted as a lack of movement. In reality, it is the gathering of strength for the next leg up. We are positioning ourselves strategically to capture the full range of the impending volatility. The mountain air brings a different perspective on wealth. Just as scaling a peak requires the right equipment and a steady pace, building a fortune requires the right tools and a long-term view of the horizon. Back to the numbers. The data shows a significant increase in institutional interest. When the big players move, we follow the wake. The board highlights the specific sectors that are currently receiving the most capital inflow. Sentiment analysis is becoming a crucial part of our daily routine. By gauging the mood of the market, we can spot tops and bottoms before they fully form. Logic always wins over the temporary madness of crowds. Look at the cross-chain liquidity metrics. The interconnectedness of modern finance means that a ripple in one area creates waves in another. We are mapping these connections to find hidden arbitrage opportunities in the system. The fractal nature of charts is a beautiful thing. Patterns repeat on every timeframe from minutes to months. By mastering the small moves, you prepare yourself for the massive shifts that define a lifetime of success. In this environment of pure knowledge, we refine our philosophy. Beyond the numbers lies a deep understanding of value. Knowing what something is worth is far more important than knowing what it currently costs in market. Resistance levels are being tested across the board. If we break through, the sky is the limit for our current holdings. We have our targets set and our exit strategies ready just in case of reversal. The impact of global policy on local markets cannot be overstated. We are incorporating macroeconomic data into our specific trade setups today. A broad view ensures that we are never blindsided by external systemic events. Focus on the compounding effect. It is the eighth wonder of the world. By reinvesting our yields back into the strongest performers, we accelerate our timeline to total financial freedom. Let time work for you daily. We are seeing a divergence in the momentum indicators. This is a classic signal to exercise caution and wait for confirmation. The board provides the specific levels we need to see before committing more capital today. The desert sun reminds us of the harsh reality of risk. Without proper preparation, the market can be a wasteland. But with the right strategy, it is a place of incredible abundance and untapped hidden resources. Energy markets are showing a strong correlation with digital assets this week. We are exploring how this relationship affects our liquidity mining strategies. Every variable counts when you are aiming for peak performance and growth. Note the increase in volume during the latest pullback. This is a sign of strong accumulation by long-term holders. We are following suit and adding to our core positions at these highly attractive discount price levels. Algorithm testing is underway. We are automating the more repetitive aspects of our strategy to free up mental energy for high-level decision-making. Technology should always serve to enhance our human intuition and market experience. Final check on the monthly candles. The trend is firmly established and the outlook remains overwhelmingly positive. We are entering the most profitable phase of the current cycle with confidence and a clear plan of action. Surrounded by the symbols of enduring wealth, we commit to the long-term vision. The noise of the day-to-day fades away when you have a solid foundation and a clear understanding of your ultimate financial destination. A new month begins with fresh capital and new targets. We are scanning for the next leaders in the tech and finance sectors. The board highlights 3 specific projects that meet our strict criteria for high yield. The relationship between interest rates and asset prices is our focus today. As the environment changes, so must our allocation. We are shifting toward inflation-resistant assets to ensure our purchasing power remains fully protected. Observe the tightening of the Bollinger Bands. This usually precedes a period of extreme volatility. We have placed our orders on both sides of the range to ensure we profit regardless of the direction taken. Backtesting our strategies against historical data gives us the confidence to stay the course during difficult times. The math doesn't lie. If the system is robust, the results will follow given enough time and patience. The coastal breeze is a welcome change. It reminds us that wealth is a tool for freedom. The ability to move and work from anywhere in the world is the true mark of modern financial independence. The speed of innovation in the decentralized space is staggering. We are updating our models to include new governance structures and yield-bearing instruments. Staying at the cutting edge is a requirement for continued market success. Liquidity is moving from the main protocols to the Layer 2 solutions. We are tracking this migration to capture the early incentives offered to pioneers. Follow the developers and you will often find the next fortune. Security is our top priority this week. We are reviewing our storage solutions and diversifying our counterparty risk. A large portfolio is only as strong as its weakest link. Protect what you have worked for. The market is currently in a state of extreme greed. This is often the time to start taking some profits off the table and increasing our cash position. Better to leave early than to stay too late. In this temple of knowledge, we remember that education is the best investment. The more you know, the less you have to gamble. True power comes from the ability to read the world with absolute clarity. Recovering from a minor correction. These are the moments that separate the pros from the amateurs. While others panic, we look for value. The board shows that the long-term structure remains perfectly intact and very healthy. Focusing on cash flow today. Capital gains are great, but consistent income is the engine of wealth. We are identifying the most stable yield opportunities available in the current market to fund our ongoing lifestyle needs. The data on global supply chains is starting to impact our commodity trades. We are adjusting our hedges to account for potential disruptions. Always look at the physical world to understand the digital price charts correctly. Scaling is the theme of the day. How do we move from a small portfolio to a large one without increasing our risk disproportionately? The answer lies in systems, automation, and a disciplined approach to every trade. High-altitude thinking for high-altitude results. From this vantage point, the small fluctuations of the market seem insignificant. Focus on the mountain peaks, not the pebbles on the path. The big picture is where fortunes are made. Institutional custody solutions are evolving. This opens the door for even more massive capital to enter the space. We are positioning ourselves to be the beneficiaries of this next great wave of global financial adoption. Analyzing the impact of social media sentiment on speculative assets. While often irrational, these movements can provide short-term opportunities for those with the discipline to get in and out quickly with a clear profit goal. We are looking at the environmental impact of different consensus mechanisms. Sustainability is becoming a key factor for long-term institutional investment. Projects that prioritize efficiency will likely lead the way in the coming years of growth. Preparation for the final push. We have built a solid base over the last 58 scenes. Now we focus on the fine-tuning that turns a good year into a legendary one. Review your goals and sharpen your tools. We conclude this phase at the heart of intellectual heritage. The journey to wealth is also a journey to wisdom. You now have the foundation. Use it to build a legacy that lasts for many generations. We open a new chapter in our financial evolution. The market has shifted, and we are ready to capitalize on the emerging trends. Gramps Rick continues the breakdown of complex data into actionable steps for your growing empire. The correlation between global debt and asset prices is becoming undeniable. We are mapping out the hedge strategies that will protect your net worth during the next phase of fiscal expansion. Stay ahead of the curve. Look at the accumulation zones on the left. Large players are quietly building positions while the retail market remains distracted. This is where we join the smart money and secure our entry points for the long haul. Technological integration is accelerating. We are analyzing how decentralized protocols are absorbing traditional market share. This transition is creating the biggest transfer of wealth in history. Make sure you are on the right side. A change in perspective under the Mediterranean sun. The luxury and history around us are a testament to what long-term capital can achieve. We are here to ensure your strategy reflects that same level of endurance. Back at the whiteboard, we refine our risk-to-reward ratios. Not every opportunity is worth the exposure. We filter for the high-conviction trades that offer the most asymmetrical upside. Precision is our most valuable asset today. Observe the tightening liquidity in the bond market. This often precedes a flight to hard assets. We are preparing our portfolio to receive the inflow of capital from those seeking safety in a volatile world. Efficiency of capital is our theme. We are looking for ways to make every dollar work twice as hard through smart yield farming and automated compounding. Passive income is the foundation of true financial independence. The momentum indicators are flashing a buy signal on the weekly timeframe. This suggests a sustained move is beginning. We verify our targets and adjust our stops to lock in the gains as we ascend. Standing before the gates of knowledge, we reflect on the importance of fundamental research. In a world of hype, the one who understands the underlying value is the one who ultimately wins the game of finance. New market cycles require new mental models. We are updating our approach to reflect the current high inflation environment. The board highlights the assets that have historically outperformed during periods of monetary debasement and global shift. Volatility is your friend if you have a plan. We use the swings to increase our positions at a lower cost basis. Don't fear the dip, use it as a ladder to reach higher levels of wealth. The technical setup for the next breakout is forming. We see a perfect cup and handle pattern on the gold chart. This alignment of traditional and digital assets creates a powerful signal for our core strategy. Synergy is the goal. By combining different asset classes, we reduce our overall risk without sacrificing our potential for growth. The board shows the optimal balance for a resilient and aggressive portfolio this month. The tropical air brings clarity to our long-term vision. Just as the palms withstand the storm, your portfolio must be flexible, yet deeply rooted in sound financial principles. Nature teaches us the importance of structural integrity. Returning to the core data, we see institutional adoption reaching a tipping point. The barriers to entry are falling, and the wall of money is beginning to move. We are positioned perfectly to capture this wave. Managing risk is an art form. We are diversifying across jurisdictions and asset types to eliminate single points of failure. In the pursuit of wealth, survival is the first rule. Once you survive, you thrive. Psychology drives the markets more than math. By staying detached and following the numbers on the board, we avoid the traps that snare the emotional trader. Clear thinking is the ultimate competitive advantage in finance. Digital liquidity is flowing into the new protocols. We are tracking the total value locked to identify the next leaders in the space. Early movers get the best rewards, but only if they do their homework. Amongst the symbols of academic excellence, we remember that your mind is your greatest asset. Investing in your own understanding pays the highest dividends. Every scene brings us closer to total mastery of the markets. A fresh perspective on market cycles. We are identifying the signs of a mature bull run and preparing our exit strategies. The key is to leave while the music is still playing, not when the room is empty. Yield curves are shifting again. We are rotating our capital into short-term instruments to maintain liquidity for the next big opportunity. Agility is what allows a small portfolio to outrun the giant institutional funds. Focus on the microstructure of the trade. We are looking for hidden buy orders that signal the presence of a large buyer. Following the tracks of the whales is the easiest way to find the profit. Consolidation leads to expansion. The longer the market stays in a range, the more powerful the eventual breakout will be. We are patiently waiting for the signal to increase our exposure and ride the trend. The clarity of the mountain air mirrors the clarity of our strategy. To reach the peak, you must stay focused on the path and not be distracted by the clouds below. Persistence is the key to success. Data centers and infrastructure are the backbone of the new economy. We are looking at how to gain exposure to the physical side of the digital revolution. Real assets provide the stability we need in our portfolio. Sentiment has turned fearful, which is exactly when we look to buy. The board shows that the fundamentals haven't changed, only the perception. Buy the fear and sell the greed for consistent long-term results. Cross-chain bridges are the highways of the future. We are analyzing the volume flowing through these connectors to spot early trends. Information moves fast, but the money always leaves a trail for us to follow. The beauty of compounding is starting to show in our results. Small gains, repeated consistently, are transforming into significant wealth. Stay the course and let the math do the heavy lifting for your future self. In this environment of history and stone, we realize that true wealth is measured in time, not just currency. The goal is to create a system that gives you back your freedom and your life. Resistance is crumbling. The buyers have taken control of the narrative, and the price action is reflecting that confidence. We are staying in our positions and letting our winners run to their full potential today. Macroeconomics is the weather, and we are the sailors. You can't change the wind, but you can adjust your sails. We are moving into defensive positions as the global economic forecast starts to look a bit cloudy. Compound interest is the fuel for our financial rocket. By reinvesting every cent of our yield, we are shortening the distance to our ultimate goal. Every day is an opportunity to add to the snowball effect. Divergence in the RSI suggests the current move might be overextended. We are tightening our stops and preparing to take some profits. It's better to be safe and liquid than to be caught in a reversal. The vastness of the desert reminds us of the scale of the global markets. There is always opportunity if you know where to look. We are digging deep to find the hidden springs of liquidity. Commodities are entering a new supercycle. We are diversifying into energy and metals to protect against the debasement of fiat currencies. The board highlights the best entry points for a balanced and protected commodity exposure. Volume precedes price. The massive spike in trading activity suggests that a big move is coming. We are positioned and ready to act the moment the trend is confirmed by the price action on the board. Algorithm updates are showing improved efficiency in our execution. By removing the human element from the entry and exit, we ensure that our strategy is followed with absolute discipline and without any emotional interference whatsoever. The monthly close is looking incredibly strong. This confirms our bullish thesis for the next quarter. We are moving forward with increased confidence and a clear roadmap for our next phase of aggressive growth. A century of scenes. We stand at the peak of our progress, surrounded by the evidence of what vision and discipline can create. The foundation is complete. Now we build the spires of our financial future. Starting the second 100 with a clear focus on the future. The landscape of finance is changing, and we are leading the charge. Gramps Rick is here to ensure your vision remains sharp and your strategy remains sound. Monetary policy is shifting toward a tighter stance. We are adjusting our portfolio to reflect this new reality by moving into assets that thrive in high-interest environments. Adaptability is the key to surviving any market change. The gap between the rich and the poor is widening through asset inflation. By owning the assets, you stay on the right side of the divide. The board shows which assets are currently the best performers. Backtesting reveals a hidden pattern in the weekend trading volume. We are using this data to optimize our entries on Monday mornings. Every small advantage adds up to a significant edge over the long run of trading. The sound of the ocean reminds us of the constant flow of capital. It never stops, it only changes direction. Our job is to be where the money is going, not where it has been. Stay fluid. Decentralized finance is maturing. We are looking at the next generation of protocols that offer better security and higher efficiency. The board highlights the top 3 candidates for our next major investment of capital. Tracking the movement of stablecoins provides a clear picture of market sentiment. When stables move to exchanges, expect volatility. When they move to wallets, expect stability. We are watching the flows very closely today. Cybersecurity is the new frontier of risk management. We are implementing multi-sig solutions and hardware isolation to ensure our assets are safe from any external threats. Your wealth is only yours if you can protect it. The market is showing signs of exhaustion. We are increasing our cash position to 20% to take advantage of the coming correction. Patience now will pay off in a massive way when the blood hits the streets. In this academic setting, we focus on the theory of value. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. By focusing on value, you insulate yourself from the temporary insanity of the daily price fluctuations. The recovery has begun, and we are first in line. The board shows that the strongest assets are the ones that bounced the hardest. We are concentrating our capital into these leaders for the next leg of growth. Focusing on sustainable yield, we avoid the high-risk, short-term plays in favor of consistent, long-term protocols that have proven their resilience. A steady 5% is better than a risky 50% that could vanish tomorrow. Global logistics data is suggesting an easing of inflationary pressures. This could be a signal for a pivot in central bank policy. We are positioning ourselves to benefit from the coming surge in market liquidity. Scaling our operations requires better tools and more automation. We are integrating new analytical software to help us track our growing portfolio across multiple chains and asset classes. Efficiency is the name of the game today. The view from the top is always clearer. Just as a pilot sees the weather patterns before the passengers, our strategic view allows us to navigate the market with confidence and grace. Keep your eyes on the horizon. The convergence of AI and finance is creating new opportunities for predictive modeling. We are incorporating these tools into our decision-making process to give us an even greater edge in the fast-moving global markets. Social media trends are a leading indicator for retail participation. We are watching the heat maps to see where the next wave of attention is going. Attention is the new currency of the digital age. Reviewing the impact of new regulations on the crypto space. While some see it as a threat, we see it as the necessary bridge for institutional capital to enter. Clarity is always good for long-term growth. The final check on our quarterly performance shows we are well ahead of our targets. We are using this strength to take more aggressive positions in the emerging sectors highlighted on the board. The future looks bright. We end this block at the pinnacle of historic wealth. Let the endurance of these structures remind you that your financial empire is built one day, one trade, and one disciplined decision at a time. The end is near. We enter the final stretch of our financial odyssey. The foundation is set, and the strategy is refined. Gramps Rick is ready to reveal the final layers of market mastery that will solidify your position as a top-tier investor. Notice the shift in correlation between tech stocks and digital assets. They are starting to decouple, creating a unique opportunity for hedging. We are adjusting our portfolio to capitalize on this divergence and maximize our returns. The board shows a massive concentration of buy orders just below the current price. This provides a strong safety net for our long positions. We are staying aggressive while others are still waiting on the sidelines for confirmation. Smart contracts are becoming the legal backbone of the new economy. We are looking at the protocols that offer the most robust security for large-scale capital. Trust in the code, but verify the audits before committing. A moment's reflection by the harbor. Just as a ship needs a skilled captain to navigate the fog, your wealth requires constant attention and a steady hand. The destination is clear, but the path requires constant vigilance. Back at the whiteboard, we are analyzing the velocity of money. A higher velocity suggests a healthier economy and more opportunities for growth. We are mapping out the sectors where capital is circulating the fastest right now. Observe the patterns in the whale wallets. They are moving assets into long-term storage, which is a classic signal of decreasing sell pressure. We follow their lead and lock in our core holdings for the next year. Efficiency is the key to scaling. We are automating our profit-taking levels to ensure we never let a good trade turn into a loss. Discipline is what transforms a lucky trader into a consistent financial professional. The trend is accelerating. We are seeing a vertical move in the primary indicators, which suggests we are entering the parabolic phase. Keep your head clear and don't get swept up in the euphoria of the moment. In this temple of tradition, we recognize that the best strategies are the ones that stand the test of time. We combine ancient wisdom with modern technology to create a portfolio that is truly built to last. New liquidity is entering the market from emerging economies. This is a massive shift that will drive the next decade of growth. We are looking at the gateways that connect these new markets to our global strategy. Volatility is increasing as we approach the resistance level. This is where the weak hands are shaken out. We hold firm, knowing that the fundamentals are stronger than ever. The board clearly shows the path to victory. Look at the depth of the order book. There is plenty of room for growth before we hit the next major wall of sellers. We are maintaining our positions and letting the market come to our targets. Synergy between our various yield strategies is producing a steady stream of income. We are using this cash flow to fund new experiments in the smaller cap markets. Always play with the house's money when possible. The mountain peaks remind us that the climb is difficult but the view is worth it. Financial freedom isn't given. It is earned through thousands of small, correct decisions made consistently over a long period of time. Returning to the data, we see a significant increase in the adoption of decentralized insurance. This is a critical piece of the puzzle that was missing. It allows us to protect our yields against protocol failures. Risk is being repriced globally. We are staying in the highest quality assets to avoid the fallout from the coming credit crunch. Safety first, then growth. The board shows the safest havens available for your capital. The psychology of the market is shifting from skepticism to belief. This is the most profitable phase of the bull run. We are riding the wave with confidence while keeping our eyes open for signs of exhaustion. The flow of assets is now almost entirely digital. We are witnessing the final days of the old financial system. Make sure your assets are positioned to survive and thrive in the new fully digital world economy. Surrounded by the symbols of power and knowledge, we realize that wealth is only a tool. The real prize is the freedom to choose how you spend your time and who you share it with daily. A fresh outlook for the final quarter. We are seeing a resurgence in the energy sector, which is driving up the costs of everything. We adjust our portfolio to include more resource-backed assets to maintain our edge. Notice the divergence between price and momentum on the daily chart. This is a classic warning sign. We are moving into defensive positions and waiting for the market to reset before we commit any more capital. Compound interest is our most powerful weapon. By reinvesting our gains, we are creating a feedback loop of wealth that is becoming impossible to stop. Let the math work its magic on your portfolio now. Backtesting the current strategy against the 2008 crash shows its resilience. We are confident in our ability to weather any storm the market throws at us. The board provides the roadmap for surviving extreme market events. The desert air brings a sense of timelessness. In the world of finance, the names and symbols change, but the patterns of human behavior remain the same. Master the human element, and you will master the market. Innovation in the Layer 3 protocols is opening up new possibilities for microtransactions. We are exploring the potential for high-volume, low-margin trades that can produce a significant aggregate profit over the course of a single month. Sentiment is reaching an all-time high. This is the time to be extra careful. We are looking for the exit signals that others are ignoring in their excitement. Professionalism is about knowing when to walk away with profit. Security audits are passing for our favorite protocols. This gives us the confidence to increase our exposure and maximize our yields during this final phase of the cycle. Always prioritize safety over the promise of quick gains. The market is at a crossroads. We have a clear plan for both directions. If we break out, we profit. If we break down, we protect. This is the essence of professional wealth management and strategic asset planning. In this final academic setting, we integrate everything we have learned. Knowledge is the foundation, but action is the architect of wealth. You have the tools, now you must use them with absolute discipline. We start the final 30 scenes with a look at the future of global governance. How will decentralized systems interact with traditional states? This is the big question that will define the next 50 years of finance. The liquidity in the primary pools is deeper than ever. This allows us to move larger amounts of capital without affecting the price too much. We are taking advantage of this depth to finalize our positions. Observe the correlation between the dollar index and our core holdings. A weakening dollar is a massive tailwind for our strategy. We are watching the central bank announcements very closely for any hints of change. Scaling up requires more than just money. It requires a new mindset. We are training our brains to think in millions instead of thousands. The board provides the framework for this psychological transition into high-stakes investing. The view from the top is a reminder of how far we have come. Every scene has been a step toward this moment of clarity and confidence. You are now ready to handle any market condition. The integration of AI into our trading algorithms is yielding incredible results. We are seeing patterns that were invisible to the naked eye. This is the future of finance, and we are leading the way. Social media is buzzing with talk of a new supercycle. While we remain optimistic, we keep our feet on the ground and our eyes on the data. Never let the hype replace your own sound research. Final review of our risk management protocols. We are ensuring that our assets are as safe as possible as we enter the most volatile part of the year. Your financial safety is my primary concern today. The monthly close is looking historic. This confirms that we are on the right path. We are moving forward with a sense of purpose and a clear vision for the final scenes of this journey. We end this block at the peak of our intellectual heritage. Let the endurance of these structures remind you that your financial empire is built one day, one trade, and one disciplined decision at a time. Entering the final 20 scenes, the focus is now on the ultimate synthesis of all we have learned. Gramps Rick is showing you the connections between the smallest detail and the largest global financial movements. The board highlights the convergence of three major cycles. This alignment only happens once every few decades. We are positioned to take full advantage of this unique moment in history for massive wealth generation. Look at the flow of assets from traditional hedge funds into our space. The smart money is no longer just watching, they are diving in head first. We are the guides for this new era of capital. Efficiency is no longer enough. We need resilience. We are building redundant systems to ensure our strategy continues to run even in the event of extreme market dislocations or global network issues and high volatility. A moment of peace before the final push. The journey is almost complete, but the real work of managing and growing your legacy is just beginning. Use this time to prepare your mind for the future. Back at the whiteboard, we are finalizing our targets for the year end. The numbers are looking strong, and the trend is firmly in our favor. We are holding our course and trusting the data on board. The liquidity catalyst is now fully active. We see the acceleration of yield generation across all our core protocols. This is the fruit of our labor and the reward for our patience over the last scenes. The liquidity monolith stands tall. Our foundation is unyielding, and our growth is assured. We have built something that can withstand any storm. This is the true meaning of financial security and long-term peace. The weave of our strategy is tight and beautiful. Every element is connected, creating a resilient and profitable tapestry of wealth. We are nearing the end of the technical breakdown and moving into full disclosure. At the library steps, we honor the knowledge that brought us here. Wealth without wisdom is temporary. Wealth with wisdom is a legacy. You now possess both. Use them to change the world around you. The quantum phase of our strategy. We are operating at a level that few even understand. The board shows the complex interactions that drive our highest yields. This is the edge that keeps us ahead of everyone. The radiance of our success is becoming visible to the world. We are leading by example, showing what is possible when you combine discipline, technology, and a long-term vision for the future of global finance. The kinetics of the market are moving in our direction. We have built the momentum, and now we are letting it carry us to our targets. The work is mostly done. Now we simply manage the flow. Resonance is achieved. Our strategy is perfectly in sync with the market's inner rhythm. This allows us to profit with less effort and more precision. The board highlights the harmonic levels for the final trades. Under the northern lights, we celebrate the spirit of exploration. The market is the last great frontier, and we are the pioneers. The yellow duck reminds us to keep a sense of humor during the journey. The apex is reached. We are standing at the peak of our current strategy. The view is incredible, but we are already looking for the next mountain to climb. The journey of wealth never truly ends. Harmony in the portfolio is at an all-time high. Every asset is performing its role perfectly, creating a beautiful symphony of profit. We are in a state of flow, where every decision feels natural and correct. The kaleidoscope of the market shows us a new pattern every day. By mastering the underlying logic, we can find the beauty and the profit in any arrangement. The final pieces are falling into their place. The confluence of all our efforts is creating a powerful river of capital. We are moving toward the final disclosure with a sense of pride and accomplishment. You have completed the training and mastered the board. Standing on the cliffs of Newport, the project is complete. The ocean represents the infinite potential of the markets. You have the knowledge, the tools, and the discipline. Go forth and build your eternal legacy.